you see how seamless that was for you, Curt? I did all the button pushing then.
Except for going live. We're not live yet. Go live.
I think we hit that at the same time. This week I hit the countdown first. That's why, because we were running late. Hello, everybody. Hello, Society 11.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. And cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
I've got a quarter of a lukewarm cup of coffee left because Curt and I got yabbering, and then
man.
Oh, it's time. Normally we go, we got 5 minutes. We go make a coffee. We've been sat here yabbering for almost an hour. I don't know. Anyway, that's what we do. Welcome. It's Friday. We're live. It's 3:00 in the afternoon in England. It's whatever time it is, wherever the hell you are, and whatever it is in Australian Standard Automatic Eastern Backward Natural Nation time.
I don't know if you've seen that video yet, but it is worth every minute of investment into watching that.
That's our first ever live review show. You can, if you haven't seen it yet, it's available in the Facebook group. It's also available in the members area at Society 11. And we will have a new show dropping. We're hoping we're going to be doing one of those. We're going to have it every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Central Time, which is 1 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time.
That's it.
The day after.
Yeah, because we don't do it on the same day. We do it on the day after.
And if you're sat there now going, what the hell are they talking about? You need to go watch that because it's all explained.
You really need to.
So if you haven't seen that, go catch up with it and enjoy. You'll be pleased to know the first episode, I admit, is overly long. It was our first one. We ended up with 5 hours odd of footage, which we had to cut down into a show. And honestly, an hour and a half was as fine as we could get it without, some really good stuff went on the cutting room, but there was some loads of bonus. And one day we'll cut those tips up and make a tips video because they're all about launches and copy, and maybe we'll make a product out of it. But in the meantime, we promise you future shows will not be as long. We're aiming for a 30 to 40-minute show each week is the idea. So it'll be something completely manageable from a watching point of view. And we are going to aim to cover 6 to 8 products on the launch cycle each week. Depends how many are good we can get review access to and lots of other things. We've tightened up our criteria as well because we can't review everything. So anyway, we'll explain that all on the next episode. Hello and good afternoon. Do we have any wins this week? Who's had some wins? Let us know some wins. And let's say hello to some people in the chat. We've got Steve Miller, good afternoon. Tony Prodger, hello, sir. JG, the G-Dog, Jerome Johnson, he's in the house. John O'York. John O'York saw it. It baffled him at first, and then he realised what was going on. Okay, that's fine. Yes, that's been on the bottle or something.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm actually doing something a little bit different this week. And what I'm doing is I'm inviting people into the Moneymakers group because a lot of the people that are friends of mine are not inside Society 11. So I'm inviting them to watch the video inside of the Moneymakers group in order to get more exposure. So if you get an invite, Society 11 members, go inside of Society 11. Don't go into the Moneymakers group.
Do I still have to sign in somewhere for you to know I'm here, says John O'York? And because I know it's John O'York, clearly the answer to that is no, you don't. You already are. I think once you've approved the StreamYard thing, as long as you don't log out of something, Facebook or cookies or something controlled that way, it will remember you and you don't have to reauthorize it. If you're like Volker and you're like Mr. Paranoid, who has like the minute he shuts a browser window, it completely wipes his computer, reformats it, and reinstalls the operating system for security reasons. Then you'll have to do it each time.
I think he should just have a thin computer system and have everything on a server. That would probably be the most secure for him.
Hello to Mr. Michael H. Hi, Doug Halfpenny, Paul Kahn, Neil McKenzie, Mr. Smiley, and Folker, of course. I knew Folker was here. That's why I was ribbing just then.
Of course.
I saw he commented. So he's had many wins. He hasn't thrown a kid out of a window from the 16th floor. That is a when
is a win.
When you're considering that a win, it's been a thin win week, I think. But we'll see. It's an achievement. I'll give you that. It's an absolute achievement. I have the same achievement going on a daily basis now with my youngest daughter, who's just at that point where she's effectively becoming a teenager. She's not quite, but she's already getting the teenager things, and she has autism, so that makes it a little bit more interesting. It just amplifies it a bit. So it's a miracle I haven't thrown her out of a window.
Yeah, but you're all on a single-story house, so that's or no, a caravan. So
we got a 2-story house with concrete. But if I throw out a window, I make sure it's high enough up to do the job properly. I'm not. God, I don't know.
Skip her off her head. Anyway,
no half measures.
Of course not. It has to be full measures. Full measures.
So, what has been happening in your world this week? Anything exciting? Anything new? Anything? Obviously, we've been busy because the first week of doing the review show meant that it took up a bit more time than it normally will. I think we've worked out now getting it all down. We've done a lot of fine tuning with that.
Yes.
So that will continue to grow, evolve, hopefully improve as well, get better. As we will work off feedback and everything else. So that's taken a lot of our time this week. So we've done a lot of extra discussion about that, although we have worked on some other rather interesting projects. And my week, really, I finished up my SASET webinars this week, so I've got that out the way now, and that's freed up a bit more time. And so, yes, I've just had a week of sort of catching up and filling in and doing odds and ends and a lot of video editing.
And we've been discussing a little bit of what we're going to be doing with alpaca content soon, and how we're going to be utilizing it, how we're going to be making something so unique. We have a very, very, very large, unique selling point that we're going to be pushing very, very hard. That was my best Trump impersonation, by the way. So
that was that Trump?
It was bullshit. That's what that was. But anyway,
was that Trump while it was held underwater? Yeah,
underwater.
Apart from that, it was perfect.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Doug Halfpenny says he considers getting SASET developer a win. Yeah, so do I. No, I genuinely do. The thing is, if you use it, it's a win. The thing is, a lot of people who were on this sort of extended webinar got to see a lot more of the advanced stuff in the last couple of sessions, because that's the way the questions went. And so when you start going, oh, did you know you can patch into an API? Did you know you could do this and this and this? And then people start getting excited. And if you're a SASET user, I know Mike H has noticed, but on the little announcement thing, you'll see the little thing like there's a new advanced feature. I know it's called advanced. Forget it's called advanced. It's not. That doesn't mean it's hard. It's just there for But it is as a new advanced feature, and that means that you could write a spinning tool in less than 3, a good one in 3 tags or less.
Yep.
Anyway, that's what I'm going to say. What else do we do on this show? We do wins. No one's really given us that many, but there have been a few. There have been some wins. So if you had a win, well done. It's been an interesting time because COVID everywhere again is doing this. I'm not going to get into that and get political or anything else. COVID's doing that. There's a lot of political shit in the news as well. That's been taking a lot of people's time. There's a lot of uncertainty. Economy-wise, it affects how easily people are prepared to whip out the old credit card and put the numbers in. So
yeah, that's definitely been slowing down. I've been noticing. It's definitely noticeable, the number of orders, number of people buying things. You can go over to Warrior Plus, you can go over to JVZoo and look at the actual number of sales that are going on. You definitely can tell it. So this means that you definitely need to take care of your existing customer base, make sure that they know who you are, what you do, what you stand for, how you can help them throughout this whole process.
Thanks, Doug.
What do you say?
He can hardly wait until COVID passes so I can get my eyelashes done. I think he's partly alluding in Facebook. I made my little avatar thing the other day, and when I did the eyes, the ones I got, the eyelashes on them are a lot better than mine. But you're not going to draw the real you when you've got a chance to make yourself look prettier and younger or more handsome or whatever you want to do. So
you mean why?
I just enhance.
That's
I
a
pick
lie.
some slight nicer eyes than I've got. What can I say? Here's Folker's win. Boom. jvpages.com/puglife. It is all done with Warrior Plus. And if you
That's
want
not
to.
his win. Why is he claiming
No, it is.
Marguerite's
Okay,
win?
no. Because he's working with Margarita and he's mentoring and guiding Margarita and he's kind of driving
And
it a
then
little bit.
he's taking the credit for the win.
No, I think this is fine. This is fine. It's how Folker does it. He has a team of babes working for
I
him.
know.
And then he claims all the credit at the end. So that's how he works. Good for him. I wish I could do that. Wish I could have a team of hot babes.
Well,
Anyway,
all your babes go make sandwiches for you anyway. That's all they do.
yeah.
There
I
you
wouldn't
go.
want to. I wouldn't want to. Oh, no, I'm not going there. I will get killed or something. I'm not. It was a sexist joke, but you know what? Someone will take it as me really meaning it, or take it out of context, or some bullshit. So I'm not going there because I'm not sexist. I think every home should have a woman.
There you go.
So you like them, Michael? Like the earrings? I do genuinely wear earrings though, so you just don't often see them because I've normally got a headset on, but I do have earrings. So that was true, and I did go for the closest to the earrings I normally wear in the picture. There you go.
Nice.
So anyway, Folker and Rita have got their PLR Pug Life coloring type launch thing done, and if you want to be an affiliate for that, make sure when in your notes you tell them, you put in there that you're a member of Society 11, mention Society 11. Just so Folker absolutely knows, and then he will basically, if you're in S11, he'll approve you. Doesn't matter if you don't have a massive standing or whatever. I mean, it might be on delayed or whatever, but he's going to approve you. That's a good look up, because a lot of people look at low scores on Warrior Plus and just go, oh no, I don't know them. I don't know. And there's another tip: if you're applying for stuff and you don't have a great score, and you don't expect the people to know or care who you are, right? Reach out to them. Actually, don't just apply and put a silly diddy note in. Reach out to them first and just go, look, I really want to. This is who I am. Show them your Facebook page. Show them your blog. Show them whatever. So they know that you're not a scammer, basically, because there are some scammy affiliates that basically get approved. They run up fake credit cards. They get all the commissions, and then you've paid the vendors paid them out, and then all the credit cards go bad, and the commissions can't be clawed back because they've run off. It's an old trick, and it's happened many times. That's why vendors are super cautious. Reach out, talk to people, establish that you're a legit person and how you're going to market it. And you'll get approved. And yes, the first few times will be delayed. So what? I don't care about delay commissions, to be honest. That's just part of business. When I started, crikey, 120 days sometimes between when you made a sale and when you got the payment. You live with it. It was what it was. We're spoiled these days, with all these almost instant or 30 days and it's straight in your account. So roll with it.
Very much spoiled.
Anyway, there's some affiliate tips as a bonus. Now, what is important at this time is that we say goodbye to some lovely people, and that's all the lovely
Is it that time already? I'm not even through the W's yet.
You're not for the W's, and I'm about to say Oh, if you're watching well, the problem is we can't talk all the really good stuff
I
until we say
know, I
goodbye to the
know.
money. That's just how it is. That's the deal.
So a lot of these people are going to be getting the invite. They're going to click on the link. They're going to come over and they're going to see us say, goodbye, Moneymakers Group.
Yeah, they are, because that's what's going to happen. So if you've just got here and you've just got here in the Moneymakers Group,
Bye, guys.
bye.
See you next Okay. I'm still clicking the invite button because it's still up and running over
I've
there
still
on that
got
side.
comments up on the screen because I forgot. Right, there we go. Anyway, they're gone. Yeah, exactly. There are still affiliate programs with 120, 180 days delay. And there you go, most offline. But yeah, exactly. When I was running my computer hardware business back in the 90s, this is sort of no, the internet was about, but it wasn't as, the internet was there, but it wasn't as huge as it is now. But back then, it was, you would make a sale, you would invoice on 30-day terms. All of the bigger companies would take at least 60, if not more, to pay you. And when you're a small company, that cash flow, that can be crippling because there wasn't a massive margin on computer hardware. And you had to, and then you get, yeah, it's a nightmare. This business, honestly, people complain that they're not getting paid in a couple of weeks for something they sold. And then when they do get paid, they get all the money and they get it quickly. I mean, God,
Right.
this is an easy game compared to real business.
Oh, well, brick and mortar. Well, we'll just
Yeah,
call it a brick and mortar business because the overhead in a brick and mortar business is much larger than in a virtual business. I'll just call it that way. That way, the good delineation between the two. Brick and mortar, you got rent, you got power, you got electric, everything else that goes along with it, along with your living quarters, power, electric, whatever. When you work from home, you have a huge advantage. I have a huge advantage because I have a room dedicated to my office, to my workspace. This is deductible. The amount I pay for mortgage, everything, we measure out the whole square footage of the house. Whatever the square footage of this office is then deductible. So the percentage wise for electric, percentage wise for this, that, but 100% for the phone because, or the internet, because it's used strictly by the business. It is a great way for tax deductions, reducing the amount of liability, tax liability. I've been doing this for numerous years, probably 5, 10, 15, 24 years working in this office, 22 in this house. And it's just been a lifesaver. It's been the area that I've looked at and grown. Did I ever have a brick and mortar business? Yes, I used to have a computer business as well. Sold computer systems, built custom systems, did networking, full 9 yards. The problem is like Andy was saying, it was a dog eat dog world out there, and Dell was just starting. Gateway computer systems were out there. They were selling computer systems cheaper than I could buy the parts for. So I couldn't even compete. And how they were making their money is they were backdooring software into their computer systems and making money that way.
look at this. The Ministry of Defense took 3 months doing a credit check on me before they paid my invoice to them. So, in other words, before we give you the money you're quite rightly owed, we're going to see if you're credit worthy enough to receive it.
Yeah. Yep.
Unbelievable.
I had to do net 90 with the state of Missouri whenever I did work at the state of Missouri, 90 days before they even thought about paying you.
Yeah, and then it'll get dragged out. It takes time. It go to processing, and it was always a nightmare in running a small business where you work. And I did for many years. I used to do client work, and you would do the work, and you would invoice, and then probably within 3 months you would get payment for that work.
And the best work was working in people's homes, going to their home and working on their computer system and cleaning up viruses. It'd take you a couple hours. You do it right there in front of them. They'd see you would be working on it for a couple hours. Here's your paycheck. If I could talk them into me taking their computer system and going home, well, I'd have 4 or 5 I'm working at it at one time and then working on them. But if they wanted me to work on it in front of them, I would. But they would charge a little bit more of a premium as well and have to pay a little bit more.
It's I think all that changed for me as well was that one day I realized that, like everything else, those things are like that because it's how it's done. Well, just because that's how it's done doesn't mean you have to play by those rules. It just means you can't do business with all the same people. But then I just started going, if you want me to do something, it's this much up front, it's this, and there was a definite plan and it was agreed. And you know what? If people didn't like it, they didn't do business with me. And those that liked my work, which luckily for me, I was fairly good at what I did at the time, they were like, no problem. We know your work's good. Couldn't throw the money at me quick enough. So yeah, you can disrupt. But yeah, sometimes you have to play the game initially when you first get in a marketplace. You have to play it how everyone plays it. Then when you prove that you're good, better, hopefully, than everyone else or whatever, then you can dictate the rules. And that makes it more interesting because now you can say, well, no, this is how I'm doing it. Now I want payment up front. Now I want this. Now I want
Right. Exactly. And here's the beautiful part. We've been in business long enough, proving that we can do what we say and say what we do, that we have people asking us for help and assistance, not just inside of Society 11, but outside of Society 11. Hey, what can we do differently? And they come and ask us for mentoring. We don't do coaching. We don't. We do mentoring, but we will not do coaching whatsoever because we expect some people to have a baseline knowledge of some things.
So, that was all just completely improvised because that's what we do here. That's what we don't plan this show. This is alive. We go off the questions, we riff off each other, but the not really a question. This came up yesterday in Society 11. You did kind of answer. Margaret Hammond said, Society 11, I have a question. In your professional opinion, what's your take on Luther Landro? And I think your opinion, you said that, yeah, he's a good marketer and
he knows how to market. That's for
he knows
sure.
how to market. Here's what I'd say. I mean, I don't have an issue. Luther Landro is a good bloke. The stuff he delivers is solid in as much as all the content's there. The software to do it is there. Here's my little issue. I think he over-eggs the ease at which one of these so-called businesses can be operated. And I'll give you an example. Many years back, he bought one out for childcare. And the idea was he'd found a loophole way, or whatever you wanted to call it. He literally just emailed a childcare place and he could get them to send him a check for money in exchange for this service he was providing, which was sort of a website with a booking system in it and some other stuff because it'll increase their bookings and And it went all through how it would work and whatever else. Except, and I thought, well, maybe it worked where he was in America. But at first, the reason I questioned it was I happened to know quite a bit about the childcare business at the time. And the reason I knew a lot about the childcare business was because one of my... Yeah, because I'm a... I am currently safe to work with children. My daughter was working for a daycare. In fact, she still does work for the daycare. She does their admin. And so I had looked at that because I was going to back her financially to start her own daycare if it was a viable business. And we looked into it. Here's the issue with a daycare center. the legislation about how many kids for how many adult members, staff members, trained members at certain levels you have to have per so many kids, and all these other precautions and rules you have to follow, mean that you can't overbook a daycare.
Correct.
You can only book to capacity.
Correct.
And most good daycares, guess what, are booked to capacity.
Yep.
Right? So the only daycares that aren't are the crap ones, and they're not really going to want a booking system. And the fact is, the numbers didn't add up. And I thought, well, maybe it doesn't add up for here because I know the UK market. But I went and checked with some people that knew a bit more about the US market, and they didn't think it could add up either. And at that point, I'm like, you might have been able to get away with selling this a couple of times to a couple of people and, convince them it was a good idea. This doesn't stack up as a model going around charging because they can't, there's nothing in it for them.
Right.
And that was really the problem. So I think you have to really think the thing through. You have to think, will it work, where I am? Does what he supplies work? Yeah, if you genuinely believe you can sell a booking system to a daycare, then everything he supplies is brilliant. But I think you're going to find the actual sales process that he's implying, I think you'll find is an awful lot harder than he's making out. And I don't think you're going to get many takers.
And I really think that a lot of what he's talking about is in theory only, probably once been put through practice, but not by him.
Right.
So he doesn't verify what he's putting out there. He just puts it out there. Because if he verified everything that he's done with the monetary claims that he claims that you can make, why would he be working on internet marketing still? It wouldn't make sense. Number two, he wouldn't have the time to actually do that as well, because he'd be raking in the dough from all the other things that he showed you how to do. Making money from restaurants, for SMS, for text message marketing, whatever. I've seen that offer from him numerous times.
If he could really send an email to almost any daycare center in America and have a good chunk of them send him back a check for $10K, which is what I believe he was claiming, $10,000, right? Why would he then reveal that system to everyone else for $20? Because even if he sold thousands of copies of it, you're still not going to make what you would make mailing 2 or 3 daycares.
Right.
You see, it utterly doesn't stack in any way, shape, or form. And I know you can argue, oh yeah, but it's regional. He can't cover everywhere. And I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. Forget it. Anyway, be careful about the claims made. Think it through. Think, does a daycare really want this? And then go one step further before you invest in such a product. Go talk to someone that runs a daycare and say, if I came to you with this, would you even consider it as being a good idea? And get some actual feedback from, this is how you decide what to go into business doing. It's called market research, and it doesn't take very long. Really doesn't. You could seriously, people are naturally nice. If you were to phone up a daycare, not during their busy hours or you were to pop into one, or you make a call and you were to say, I'm considering going to, I just want to ask your opinion because you're in the business.
Right.
If someone came to you offering you this, would that help your business or not? Ask them straight, and if get their answers. Find out in advance what their objections will be. Also, could be useful. But you may well find a lot of the time that you speak to 2 or 3 places, and it's pretty apparent there's not a market. There's not the market that's been implied by the person selling it.
Right. I don't think that Luther Landro's the LinkedIn guy. I think that is Lee Cole.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. Having said that, I don't know what his latest offer is. I haven't kept up with Luther's offers for a little while. For a long time, it was how to make money, and it was sell to daycares, and he had one, and it was sell to.
I could tell you how I found Luther, and it's really quite interesting what he was using. He was using an advertising on the Motley Fool, which is an investment forum and website.
Yeah.
And because he was doing business offers,
Mm-hmm.
make money offers. And it converted for me because I liked his style. White background page, video popped up, video played. At a certain time, boom, the buy button showed down below. Simple, 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 simple. He sold extremely well. He waited 15 minutes before he showed you the buy button. How many people actually sat there and waited the whole 15 minutes? If they did, it was almost a guaranteed sale before that buy button showed up. But that's how I started watching and looking at his stuff.
Okay. That was about the only real question that stood out to me. There's been some great posts this week.
There's one more. There's one. But it's just a part about Facebook, new Facebook, that I do not like. Neil asked on what happens is StreamYard will post the actual thumbnail card, saying we're going live, this, that, and the other. And then it will create another post. Right.
So that's why we don't see questions posted on that thread now.
Right. At the moment. Yep.
We have to go look for them. All right.
So Neil McKenzie put in a question. I'll share my screen here real quick. That way,
don't worry about that, guys. You post it. We'll find the questions. You just get them in there.
So I'm gonna make my screen much bigger so everyone can see this. I want to buy a product on Warrior Plus and promote it as an affiliate too. The product is by Ike Paz, who I respect and love his stuff. Unfortunately, is being fronted and sold by Brendan Mace. So do I sign up with a new Warrior Plus account and a new email account? And since I have zero reputation, I might not get approved as an affiliate, or do I just steer clear? Or do I use my existing account? Any suggestions would be appreciated.
It's been fronted and sold by Brendan Mace, and I know that might put you off, but if you genuinely know this product is good, and if Brendan hasn't put a stupid ass thing on the back of it, then why not just promote it anyway? You know what? Here's the thing. Your relationship with your list is just that, a relationship. And if you're promoting it to an audience, which is what I imagine you're asking here, because I see your emails, and which are very good, incidentally. If you've got your emails going out, just be honest with them. If I wanted to mail for something like that, I would send an email out and I would go, right, look, I've got a right old quandary. I would tell the story. I know this product, and it comes from this person that I know and respect, and it's really great. But the person who's fronting the sales page of it is somebody that I don't have a lot of time or respect for. However, I want you to consider this product. Just bear in mind that if you go and buy it, you're going to end up on a bunch of email lists from people that are going to promote junk to you, and you'll be very wise to get off them. Just tell them straight. Be honest. It's a relationship with that list that you have. In fact, I don't call it a list. It's an audience. So it's your relationship there. So the best thing in any relationship, in my opinion, and I do speak from quite a lot of experience, is honesty.
Yeah.
And that applies in, romantic and marriages and all sorts of other things. And it applies in the relationship you have with your customers and your audience. Just be honest with them. If you've got that quandary, go, here's the quandary I've got. So I've decided I am going to do it. And then it doesn't matter. Do not worry about, I know that there's this thing like, oh, if anyone mails this, get off. But if you sent an email out like that, no one's going to unsubscribe from you for doing that. You are doing what you believe is in the best interest of your audience. How can anyone not love you for that? As long as you are doing it for genuine reasons and not just, I want to make a buck, which is what everyone else is doing.
You want to help them.
And just be honest, if some of the later OTOs of Brendan's coaching and all that other dodgy, just tell people, don't buy those. Just go and get the front end, and maybe
you only need
tell them what to buy. Tell them what you would recommend, because that's why they're in your audience. They want to hear your recommendations. Give them what they want, get what you want, make some money. Everyone wins that way. It's completely honest and upfront, and it's the most legitimate way of doing business. That's what I think, anyway.
And I agree. I totally agree, because your audience trusts you. That's why they're on your list. Because they purchased from you. That's the reason why a lot of people are on my list. I rarely do a lot of cold outreach. I'll put out a product and then bring those people onto my list. That's how I mainly get people on my email list. So if they trust me enough with their wallet currently, then I should be trustworthy to tell them what I believe that they should get as well, to a point to where I'm going to say, yes, no, you need to avoid, or, okay, this is a shady situation. By the front end, ignore everything else. The minute you get on their list, the minute you get their first email, unsubscribe. Tell them to unsubscribe. What's the worst they could do?
But good question though. So that's how I would deal with that. And here's the other key thing to remember. I know you're going, oh, but then I might end up on a Brendan Mace leaderboard, and then somebody else might post a leaderboard, and my name's going to be up with all these shit mice. Don't worry about it.
No.
Don't. Number one, it really doesn't forget. Don't worry about what other people think for a start. But do you? But that's all I do. I never worry about. Oh crikey! I was on a Mark Barrett leaderboard not long ago for a product I hated.
Good
Well, yeah, because we bought a review copy through my link, and I happened to be one sale was enough to put me on the leaderboard, and I was like, no, I don't want to be on a Mark Barrett. Please, more people sell that so that I drop off quick. I don't want my name on there with all that bunch of wankers. Anyway, don't worry about it though. Do you and be at the end of the day, polarizing is important with an audience, because the people that love you will listen to you, they'll buy from you, they'll if they don't buy from you, they'll shout about you, and it's a good working relationship. Everyone gains something there. And the people that absolutely don't like you are going to get off your list and leave you alone. They weren't going to buy off you anyway. And the people that are like, they never do anything. They're like the apathetic middle ground. They don't buy. They don't tell people about you. They don't do anything that benefits you. You're not really doing anything that benefits them. Your shit's landing in their inbox and they don't care. That's right. Who they are. So it's better actually to polarize and to be really divine and say, nail your colors to your mast sometimes and say, look, I effing hate. I mean, I'm not saying you should swear. I would. I effing hate this guy's. I don't hate the guy, but I hate his products usually. But here's a weird situation. I know this other chap. Now, I mean, I personally don't know who Ike Paz is. I'm not somebody that I've ever looked at, but you clearly have, and you respect and you love his stuff. That's fine. If you like and respect it, you should absolutely be promoting it because you're being genuine.
Right. Yeah. Printly, as Jerome said, that's Ike Paz's product. It's been sold for a couple of years so far. It's a good product. I've purchased it probably 2 years ago and looked at it. It's got a really, really good basis. It's being done every day on Etsy because people buy stuff and print it off. Currently, right now with COVID, print on demand is huge. Print on demand is not just books that ship from Amazon or Lulu or other printing services. Print on demand is a mom goes, buys a bunch of mazes, downloads them in a PDF, and prints them off for the kids to play with. That is also print on demand. There is a huge market for that. Etsy is gigantic for that. Etsy is a great place to get in doing that. Just something that I liked. I liked the idea of it. I prefer his brother Ike Pod. Go figure.
Dear. He's here all week, folks. Tip your wages and try the fish. Right.
What about Ike Pez anyway, instead of Paz anyway?
So the next question is, who's won the banner this week?
We're actually going to look at that?
Well, yeah, well, you are. I know we forgot last week, and then everyone whinged that we forgot. We did it right after.
They did.
But wow, you would think that it was the end of the world. No, you didn't tell us who won the banner. Oh no! So we don't forget. We don't forget. While Curt's looking that up, I'll do the usual reminders that tonight from 9 o'clock UK time. That's about what time is it your time, Curt?
3 o'clock, which would be 16 hours. That would be 6 p.m. Australian Eastern
Standard Time.
Yep.
So we'll be the IM Pub. So, and we'll be there. And this week, if for those of you that were there last week, you will know that I, for some reason, while under the influence of something, made a promise to do with a wig. And I was reminded by Jenna of that yesterday, and then it all came flooding back to me. And I'll make good on my promise. That's all I'm saying. But you need to be there at the start of the Iron Pub because it will happen at 9. And it ain't gonna be. I'm not wearing a damn thing for all night. So we got all the terrible jokes coming now. This
Lord.
We're gonna have to quickly wrap up before the terrible jokes overrun us, and it's like an avalanche of bad gags coming now. Quick, who's won?
All right, 3,
instantly,
2,
don't
1. Go ahead.
Oh, you can do it. Go on, do your bit.
No. You said instantly.
I was just gonna go. Don't forget that next. Oh, it's tomorrow actually. Is Cam Jennings' product is coming out. If you are an affiliate and you haven't checked it out yet, and you've got a gap in your mailing schedules or whatever, you can see what we thought about it on our review show thing. We do like it. Good product. Bit wordy in places. You'll see what we mean. Watch the review show. But a superb product from one of our own inside Society 11. So if you've got a gap in your mailing schedule, if you've got a time to write a review or a blog post of your own, hit Cam up. If you're an affiliate and have a chat, he'll probably hook you up with some review access like we had and all sorts of other things.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's see.
3, 2, 1. Looky there, it's Cam Fats.
Tom Clark doing well though, and Tom shared some good stuff. Can I just say, I mean, I know that this is a bit of fun. It doesn't matter who wins the thing, but I really do appreciate everyone taking part and posting content and sharing, because we've had some phenomenally good member shares over the last week in Society 11, and most of them have come from the people that you see in that grey box there, pretty much. I mean, it's like the people that are on that list, And it is appreciated because those shares, some of the stuff that has been shared is like really good stuff that people aren't going to find anywhere else because I haven't seen it mentioned anywhere else, or it's unlikely you're going to stumble across it. So, and that's what we want. We want all the good stuff. So there we go. Cam is the winner. He can talk to Curt and do all of that malarkey. We'll see whoever can make it tonight at 9 o'clock on the IM Pub. And don't forget to check out this review show. Coming up on this week's show, Curt tries to figure out what voicemail is.
What the hell is the voicemail?
We make up a song. Welcome to the Pyramid. Curt tells us why he likes it.
And I'll tell you the reason why I like it.
Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for joining us live. See you same time, same place, same channel next week. And look out on Wednesday for the next episode, which will be much shorter, of the review show.
It will be.
So see some of you on the pub tonight as well. Bye.
Hi, guys.